Alright lads, so today we got some surprise news. Today we are over on BBS Simulator because 3 new characters have just gotten their resurrection. Less than 2 weeks ago, of course, we had the 1000 Year Blood War Round 1 resurrection, and I was kind of hoping they would actually do this where they would give us an extra resurrection this particular month, because it is October, Halloween is coming up, and if they wanted to resurrect these Halloween characters, now would be the only time to do so, and here we are. They've resurrected them, which means extra orbs at the end of the month, and also 3 new characters to talk about. Are they good resurrections? Let's find out. So firstly, let's start off with Halibel. Now keep in mind, as the 1000 Year Blood War resurrections did actually do, is that they got 8 skills. So no longer are characters getting 7 skills, now we're getting 8, which means characters like this can now pick up an extra skill or 2, which overall is going to make them a tad bit better, depending on the skill they do get. So in this case, Halibel is a normal attack damaging character. She does have a 60% damage taken, so realistically what you want to see here is normal attack damage. DR and Nad is always a good combination. If they want to maybe give a last ditch survival, that wouldn't be too bad, but overall I would say damage reduction and last ditch, or damage reduction and null attack damage, is going to be the best combination here. Otherwise I don't see myself using it, because that's the only combination I would ever use it with, right? And if they were to go with like recharge, that would still be a bit iffy, so we'll see how that one does turn out. As for her skills, she does have a 40% berserker, a 50% bruiser, 5-second debilitator, 30% devastation, immune to paralysis, poise, and sprinter +1. So what we are seeing here is something that we're going to see quite often, which is why they have increased the skill cap. This character only has 7 skills, so if we were going with the old resurrection with the way they did it with only given 7 skills, this character would literally pick up nothing on her resurrection. It's happened in the past before. Best example would be the Christmas version of Urdu. She literally got almost nothing for her resurrection, and it was really disappointing to see. So now that she can pick up an extra skill, because there are 8 skills, what we could see here is her pick up Flurry and keep the bruiser value, right? Originally, they might have just removed the bruiser and then gave her Flurry, and at that point, she still would have had a pretty good damage increase, but it would still be quite lower compared to some of the newer characters. But since she can be given 8 skills here, there's a very likelihood here is that she is going to pick up the Flurry and then still keep the bruiser. And that overall would make her better, I would say. It would make her better, honestly. And at the same time, again, if she picks up normal attack damage as the soul trait here, that would also be pretty good. But I'm more so leaning on the side of her getting last ditch. Considering our last batch, 1000 Year Blood War Round 1, got really good resurrection links, I feel like they're going to kind of nerf some of these characters here. I don't feel like they're going to get the justice they deserve when it comes to links, because we literally just got back to back really powerful links. So looking at Halibel, what does she pick up? She got the 60% normal attack damage. Okay, never mind. So very good link, and that's the great thing about this. When it comes to characters like Sergeant, for example, whose original trait was normal attack damage, and then he picked up the 12% DR. At least to me personally, I don't ever use those links, because if I'm using a DR link, I'm going to use a character like this that offers more DR than normal attack damage. So in this case, you're getting the 60% damage taken, and you're also picking up the extra 60% normal attack damage, therefore taking a bruiser to 64%. But can she get Flurry +1? Let's see it. Yes, she can. She got the Flurry +1, Berserker +40, Devastation 30, Debilitator 5, Sprinter +1, Poise, and also Paralysis Duration -100%. So, unfortunately, lads, what we are seeing here is that's actually kind of sad to see, I'm not going to lie. So, we are going back to the 7 skills. It looks like 1000 Year Blood War are the only characters that are getting this special treatment where they get that extra 8th skill. I was kind of hoping that would be a thing going forward, but apparently they did remove the bruiser and only gave a Flurry +1. That's a bit unfortunate, if I'm being truthfully honest. It's still an upgrade. She got the Flurry that she wanted, and she also picked up the extra normal attack damage as a soul trait. So at the very least, for those that aren't even going to use this character, she's orbs and also a really good link for the power attribute, right? If you have Chad, that's going to be a good link on Chad. But it kind of sucks we have to go back on the 7 skills, which I guess means that 1000 Year Blood War, for the most part at the time being, is the only characters that are going to get that special treatment and get that extra 8th skill. But either way, this resurrection is pretty decent. Again, she got the Flurry, she got a good soul trait. That's all you can really ask for. It would have been better though had she picked up the Flurry and also kept the bruiser, because that would have made her pretty good even in today's standards. She can inflict paralysis, so it wouldn't have been too bad. And next up we have RIRUKA. Now this character, I mean, none of these characters are getting saved, let's be honest, right? None of them are too special. Despite them coming out a year after 1000 Year Blood War Round 1, those characters have aged actually significantly better. So RIRUKA is an SP character, right? She's a heart, no affiliation killer with strong attack recharge time at -12% as a soul trait. I don't feel like she's going to get strong attack damage here. Obviously, best case scenario would be either strong attack damage or full stamina damage as a second soul trait, but I can see her maybe getting a status augment duration. depending on the stats and duration she does get, that wouldn't be too bad. For example, weakened duration would be pretty good. We still need more links like that. I know it feels like we have a lot of those, you know, status augment plus recharge links, but we need more. We need more. Being able to use 2 links like that and just be outright immune to a certain status augment and still get the extra recharge is really powerful in my opinion, and I do use those links quite often when I'm playing guild quests or inheritance trials. So I wouldn't mind something like that, but of course strong attack damage or full stamina would also be good here, and that would be an overall better soul trait for like the overarching community, right? Whereas the status augment duration is more of a niche one, but it's still definitely usable. Looking at her skills though, she has a 20% bruiser, 5-second debilitator, 40% devastation, 100% freeze duration, frenzy +1, long reach, and also sprinter +1. So what we have here is 7 skills. So if we go by Halibel's resurrection, she's getting nothing, basically, like literally no extra skill, which again, I'm hoping is not the case here. That was the whole point of increasing the skill cap to 8, is to give characters like this an extra skill. She could easily pick up Berserker here, maybe even Havoc, and that would overall make her a tad bit better alongside a pretty good soul trait if they do want to go ahead and do that. So looking at her soul trait, she did pick up fire resistance, 55%. So as I mentioned, I kind of saw that come in. Let me quickly check what links of those already exist. So currently in the game, there's technically 2 soul traits that are very similar to this now newly resurrected Rurikon. In this case, Okyura is a strong attack, recharge, and fire duration. So technically, if you are ever using a character and you want to be fully immune to fire, but you still want to get the benefits of using heart characters as links and get the extra bit of recharge, what you can do now is use this Okyura link and also the now RIRUKA link. Dual use recharge links and heart characters, giving you the extra bit of stats, and you're also using 2 fire duration links, therefore now being fully immune to burn, and you don't have to use any bonus abilities to go alongside that. Technically, there are 2 of these because we have Yamamoto too. He is a 65% fire duration and 10% recharge. So personally, I would never use a link like that because it's offering less recharge and offering more fire duration, which you don't really need. So again, hypothetically, if I'm ever needing to use a heart character, I would use an Okyura and RIRUKA link. So there's not many out there for the heart attribute, so I don't mind that soul trait. I do like those, and again, I feel like we need more of those, especially for those out there that don't have the Okyura or the Yamamoto, but maybe have this RIRUKA. That's going to be a pretty good link in a certain situation. It's not that rare for me to use them, so again, I think that's pretty decent. Now, that said, let's look at her skills. Kind of nervous about this one because realistically, she's probably going to pick up nothing. Hopefully not, though. So she got long reach plus 20%, bruiser plus 30, so that went up by 10%, frenzy plus 1, devastation 50, so that went up by 10%, debilitator plus 5, sprinter plus 1, and freeze duration. So yeah, bad resurrection. This sucks, I'm not gonna lie. If we didn't have the 1000-year blood of resurrection introducing those 8 skills, I wouldn't have minded this one. But like, come on. You're showing that you're adding 8 skills. Continue to add 8 skills for these characters. These characters came out a year after 1000-year blood round 1, and they're getting worse treatment. At the very least, though, they didn't do what they did to Uru and gave her basically nothing. At the very least, they still increased something on her attacks. In this case, I guess they gave her an extra 10% bruiser and also devastation, which doesn't change much, let's be honest. So overall, not too happy with this resurrection, if I'm being truthfully honest. Moving on to the final character, kind of looking forward to this one. We have the Yoruichi Yachiru. Let's see how this one goes out. So, normal attack damage plus 20%. Very well could pick up DR here. At the same time, could pick up confusion duration, maybe another status element duration, second soul trait, which again, depending on the element, I wouldn't personally mind. At the same time, could pick up last ditch, could pick up stam recovery. Personally though, I'm hoping she picks up recharge, because what we need to see more when it comes to resurrections, and I think Caleb know that, is that normal attack damage plus recharge is a very rare combination, and it's a very powerful one at that. If you were to focus on someone like Oetsu, for example, imagine Otoki Nara, Misaki, the Safui Soifun, for example, imagine giving them that extra 60% normal attack damage from a soul trait, but also get 30% recharge at the same time. That would be really good, because then that would allow those NAD characters to have a high NAD output, allow them to do a lot of damage, but also give them that recharge that would allow their SA2, boost, barrier move, whatever they do in their second strong attack, to come back a tad bit faster, and almost allow them to infinitely stack it. That's what I want to see more so when it comes to NAD characters, and I want to see characters like this get that normal attack damage and also recharge soul trait, because right now in the game, there's only like 4 of them that exist overall, and we need more of them. So that's what I want to see for a second soul trait, recharge. And looking at her skills, she has Berserker plus 40, Bruiser plus 40, 5-second debilitator, 40% devastation, fire duration, freeze duration, and also sprinter plus 1. So unfortunately, one once more, 7 skills here. She's going to pick up nothing new unless they want to remove her bruiser and give her flurry +1. Currently, she is a normal attack damaging character. Considering they did it for Halibel, you would think they do the same for Yachiru, but I feel like maybe they're going to do her dirty. But realistically, she does want to pick up flurry here, and that's the only thing she is going to pick up, unless you want to get a 10% increase on her berserker, bruiser, and also devastation. So, looking at the soul trait that she did get, she got paralysis duration -55%. And actually looking at the current characters in the game that have this combination for a technique character, normal attack damage plus paralysis duration, what we will see here is that no character in this game exists with that combination for the technique attribute. Of course, there are other characters in the game, very rare, like we only have 3 characters here with this stat as a duration, and the mind attribute doesn't have a single character with normal attack damage plus paralysis duration, which is why I do preach quite a bit that we need more links like this, because look at that, there's only 3 of them, and this is our first technique character to have that. So I actually like that soul trait. I think it's pretty good. I'll take it. Personally, I prefer this over something like normal attack damage and DR, because there's so many, like there's a lot of those links that exist already that we don't need more of those. Normal attack damage and also paralysis duration is actually pretty decent, and then looking at her skills, she has a bruiser +60, berserker +40, devastation 40, debilitator +5, sprinter +1, and then fire and freeze resistance. So yeah, kind of saw it coming. Unfortunately, for some reason they did like the Byakuya thing here and kept her as a hybrid. I kind of gave her 60% bruiser, lad. That's crazy. That's crazy. You could have gave flurry +1, but that's crazy. And berserker stayed the same. So all in all, lads, I'm kind of disappointed. If I'm being truthfully honest, I am disappointed. Halibel ended up being a pretty good link. Yachiru and RIRUKA, again, pretty good links, right? Not amazing links, but still good links that I'm not going to complain about. I don't mind the links these characters did get, but I'm more disappointed in the upgrades they got. And very rarely, lads, am I actually disappointed in resurrections. Like, I was perfectly happy with 1000-year Blood War Round 1's resurrection, right? Of course, Byakuya was the disappointing one, but, like, overall, I was happy with it. We got 4 powerful links, and also, mainly Toshiro got a really good upgrade, in my opinion. But then you have a look at these characters here. This is an example of a bad resurrection, because, damn, Kela didn't even try. We have examples now of characters getting 8 skills when it comes to the resurrections, and unfortunately they didn't want to do it for these particular characters, which I guess is the most disappointing part, because, you know, had they been given that 8 skill, they could have been significantly better. Halibel could have kept the bruiser and also gotten flurry. RIRUKA could have potentially picked up an extra berserker or even havoc, and then Yachiru again potentially could have gotten flurry and also kept a bruiser. But at the very least, this is like an extra resurrected batch this particular month, so we weren't normally supposed to get this, but that is extra orbs to summon on end of month or wherever upcoming banners are coming out. But with that said, let me know in the comments below what you lads think about these resurrections, and I'll see you lads next time, which will be later today for a new Bleach episode. Take care and peace.